think just first of all, start off with just want to thank the veterans. Today's Veterans Day, and I thank them for what they've done for our country. Not only providing a safe place and a free place to be able to do what we want to do. Just want to give them a shout out for everything they've done and continue to do for us. And particularly for what we get to do is coach football, and it's awesome. We love it, even though when we have bad weekends like we had this past one, we still love it. And we've got a great opportunity this week to come back and play. It's a great thing about football is the fact that win or lose, you got to come back and go again. Your next game is the most important game, so we're excited about the opportunity to go down to Raleigh and play NC State. You know, we know what we're going to get. That's a school that I've visited a lot. Of course, Coach Ledford coached there. Know a lot about them, how they run their program. Got a lot of respect for Dave and the way he's run his program for years. Very well coached team. Kids always play hard. You know, they this year have had a ton of injuries throughout their whole team, and they've had to play a lot of young players. You know, they've played several quarterbacks, kind of settled in on Leary now. That's given them a chance offensively. Knight's a really good running back. You know, so I think you know, always a great crowd there in Raleigh. One of the louder venues, I think, in the ACC. And night game down there, I'm sure they'll be out for this one. So, you know, we're looking forward to this opportunity. Got to get better.
Coach, did you have any kind of update on Makai or some of the other guys that got hurt on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, I think Kai's, you know, getting better. I think, you know, he'll probably be listed as day to day. We'll see how he is this week. You know, obviously, if he's available to play, we want to play him. You know, he's, you know, you ask him, he said he's playing. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, it's going to be one of those deals. You know, won't be ready to go at the beginning of the week. But we'll see where it's at toward the end of the week. The rest of the guys, can't remember anything as far as everybody else. You got Tutu, I think should be fine. He'll be good to go. Trying to think of anybody else that.
I think Dorian went down early. Dorian Smith.
Dorian Jones.
Yeah.
Dorian Jones. Yeah, Dorian will be out. We have not. He got an MRI. I've not gotten the results back from that right now, but he'll definitely be out this week, and then we'll see. We're hoping for the best, but you know it doesn't look good right now. But we'll see where it's at.
Kane,
Kane passed as. I think he got bruised up pretty good, but I think he'll be ready to go as well. You know, I would say for him, you know, probably be practicing by the middle of the week. So yeah, we did get a few, you know, dings in that game, but Cunningham was another one. He'll be fine. He practiced Sunday, so he's good to go as well.
Coach, with NC State, they have used a couple of quarterbacks. What do you see with Leary? Why do you feel like they settled on him and they seem to be better with him?
Yeah, I think so. You know, he's got a good arm. He can throw the football. You know, I think coming out of high school was a highly rated player. You know, I think you know, looking at all three, he probably, you know, gives him the best chance to move the ball. He can throw it. You give him time back there, he'll be able to complete those balls. They got a few guys out on the outside I think are big play receivers. I think Knight gives him something in the running game. He's very explosive. So I just think they feel he gives them the best chance. He's, you know, he's young, he's inexperienced, but you know, he's got a couple games under his belt. Obviously, they feel like he'll get better and better. But I think he's just, talent-wise, probably gives him the best chance.
Looking at Akil's injury when he slipped before he got hit on the ground, it seemed like throughout the game the turf crew was spending a lot of time picking up chunks, and then with the rain, do you think the turf condition had anything to do with any of the injuries?
You know, it's hard to say. You know, with Dorian, he said his gave way when he's running down on kickoff team and hurt his leg. So it's just hard to say. You know, both teams were slipping, sliding around. You know, walking around pregame, the turf, it was you know, a lot of areas where there was just dirt. You know, and then it started raining, which created mud. You know, so there was a lot of slipping going on. But it's both teams, and it's just hard to say if that does create the injuries or not. You know, I don't know. I think a couple of our injuries were just guys getting, you know, leg whipped or something like that. It probably had anything to do with the turf, so it's really hard to say.
Coach, when you look at film, did anything change in the offensive line performance after Makai went out? Because obviously he's a pretty big part of it.
I think Boone came in and did really good. He gave up one sack. We got ran around him, but other than that, I thought he played well. I think you know, you get thrusted in that in that position, you know, particularly at left tackle, where he hadn't played really much. He's really been playing guard. But I think we're, you know, obviously glad that we played him early on in the season. He got his feet wet and felt good about going in. But going back and watching the film, he held his own. You know, I think that's a good D-line that we played against. Very athletic, very, you know, can run well. Other than that one sack, I thought he played well. Had a good game.
The punting that happened against Miami. How do you kind of shore that up after
Yeah. Tell me, get the punt that was blocked there.
the punt was blocked and then also the short punt?
Yeah, short punt. Well, Mason's got to punt the ball better. You know, he didn't punt the ball great. You know, we got to get better punts. We got to get more hang time. The punt return that they had, 3.1 seconds, 3.2 seconds hang time. That's not nearly enough. And not, well, not only punt, but it was also were covered. We had guys, a couple of guys that's supposed to be flanking to the left, ended up going to the right. You know, they've got to be in their lanes. You know, the punt that was blocked, we got to get more on that particular player. We didn't hardly get anything on him. You know, we got a guy there, we just didn't get anything on him. You know, we got to be able to field punts. You know, we didn't field that punt. It gave him another short field. Thought we had momentum at that point too in the game. Defense did a great job. You know, and then we give the ball right back to them. Yeah, you know, no question, the punt team and punt return team, that was huge plays in the game. You know, particularly when we're giving up some touchdown passes and stuff, you got to play good in that phase of special teams in order to give yourself a chance. But you know, I think looking back at it, you know, the 14 penalties is the most penalties we had this year. We've been doing pretty solid in the penalty game, you know, but you have 14 penalties for 121 yards. I mean, that's 12 first downs. I mean, that's a lot. And then when you know we lost the turnover battle. You know, we had 3 turnovers to 0. When you don't win that, you know, that's going to be hard to win. I don't care who you're playing. 14 penalties, and then I think maybe they had 3 or 4 penalties. A couple of those late. So those were differences in the game.
Coach, you mentioned the other night all 3 phases obviously didn't play well, and the fact that happens in games. How do you reiterate to the guys so it doesn't linger past 1 week that you know you guys didn't play well?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it is one game. Whether you, like I told them Sunday, whether you played well or you didn't play well, it doesn't matter this week. You got to come back this week and give everything you have in your preparation. So there's a lot of heart-to-heart meetings yesterday, you know, with in-position meetings in different groups, and you know, there were some bright spots that we were able to make some plays out there. You know, I think, you know, we had close to 500 yards offensively. The one thing we had been doing offensively is finishing in the red zone. We had 3 opportunities. We didn't score any points, you know, 2 interceptions. And then, you know, right there at the end, we didn't catch the touchdown pass there. So there were some positives in there. You know, we got to take some positives out of it. But you got to continue to get better. We want to continue to improve. There's a lot of things we can get better at for sure. And, you know, and if we don't, you know, because if you linger, then that loss will end up in another one, you know. So you got to put that one aside, continue to move forward and work on NC State.
The penalties, what was strange about them is you guys hadn't been a highly penalized team all year. When you look at it, was it lack of focus or their athleticism caused you guys to do
I think early on, I think, you know, we had 3 false starts up front. I think early on it was some confusion with the cadence there and hearing things. It was loud in there early in that game, you know, with that roof they had in that stadium. It made it loud. And so that was hindering our offensive line, I think, a couple of times with that. You know, Robbie gets called for pulling a Miami guy off the pile. That's a 15-yarder, you know. I mean, just stuff like that, you know. It's just, we get a chop block on a kickoff return, which, you know, we all know you can't block below the waist. I mean, that's just, you know, baffling that you end up doing that. So, yeah, it was just a lot of uncharacteristic type penalties that we have not been having throughout the season. That put you behind and put you, you know, and, you know, particularly offensively. I think we had 8 on offense, 8 penalties on offense. And so it's hard enough when you stay on the sticks, when you're getting those lost yardage with those penalties. It's so hard to gain momentum early in the game. And so that was huge, you know. But we got to eliminate those. And I think, you know, I think there was, one holding penalty. We had a chop penalty up front, or high-low. So
you had back-to-back face masks too early
on defense, yeah, back-to-back face mask, you know, grabbing up obviously too high. You know, but yeah, those are things that we haven't been doing that you can't do. You know, if you want to win games, you can't do those things, and we talk about them and to eliminate those penalties.